Hi, it's Chris Salt here, and you're watching my first vlog. So I'll go into a bit more detail on what I've been up to this year, what I'm up to next year, and a few shout outs. Hope you're all doing well. I just decided to set up a new vlog just to track what I'm up to. So I'm a sort of DJ, producer, remixer. I did quite a lot of work since about 2003, but I had a bit of a break and came back to it again last year. So it's going to be sort of a vlog exploring my journey, what I was doing previously, what I'm up to nowadays, my new releases, new initiatives. I've got a new record label I'm setting up, tracks that I'm interested in, like promos that I get sent that I think are really cool. I'll give those a shout out. Maybe some studio tips, some studio run-throughs of my tracks, and what I've been up to in like clubbing and stuff as well. So welcome. So yeah, it's the first episode, so I'll just do a quick run through of all those bits and pieces. But I think what I'll do is I'll do a vlog, like a full post on each of them in a lot more detail. So this is like an intro to it all really. So first of all, a bit about me. So I'm Chris Salt. I signed my first record contract back in 2003 to Silver Planet Recordings. So they were really famous for having people like James Holden on their label, and getting Sasha and Digweed and everybody to, they were playing their tracks, essential mixes, things like that on BBC Radio 1. So that's all still going. So I signed to Silver Planet for, I think, a few singles, but a couple of albums mostly. So it was all geared towards writing artist albums. It was sort of tough at the time because, I was just coming out of uni, didn't have much money, got a day job. I've still got a day job. I've always had a day job, pretty much, apart from a couple of years when I was trying to go fully professional. But it's just really hard as a musician to try and do that. So yeah, just back in terms of what I was up to. So first thing they did was to release this Secret Planet CD. So a little bit closer. So it's full of artists that they were signing. They've signed quite a few new acts and everything. That's really cool. And I've probably got one of the bigger contracts, I guess. So it's my track Undertow on here. I need to get it back up actually onto the digital stores. It's not there. And then the next thing I did was they asked me to mix this compilation Fear 3. So they'd already done Fear of Silver Planet 1 and 2, James Holden and Flash Brothers, and asked me to do the third one. So when I signed to Silver Planet, within a month I was playing out in Tokyo alongside some of my favourite DJs. Satoshi Tommy was out there, Koki Mirror. I gave them some white labels when I was out there, but yeah, my singles mostly came out on vinyl. So you can sort of see some of my tracks there. They also had the 50th release of Silver Planet Recordings, so I made it onto that. We got a Luke Chable remix of my big single Dub Sonar, and I did a remix of Main Element Delta of Venus. And these are both still doing really well on Apple Music and Spotify in terms of the stats. What else happened? I also got my tracks onto Anthony Papper's Balance 6 CD, which a lot of you will probably recognise. So Anthony's a proper legend of the scene, he's been DJing for ages, and he has Balance CD, which is incredible, like Luke Chable, Fretwell. It's got my tracks like Shiloh, Slacker as well, and I had Atmospheric Graffiti on here, and also my Main Element Delta of Venus remix. So yeah, Atmospheric Graffiti did pretty well. It's my second single on Silver Planet. And then after all of that, I did another mixed compilation for Kicking Records called Future House. And it had a few tracks for me, a few exclusives on there, and Shiloh and Blake Potter and Vector 13 and Slacker as well, so it's great to be able to include Slacker. So yeah, had quite a good recording career, DJing all over the world really. So I've played sort of, like I said, Tokyo, Shanghai, New York. Played Turkey quite a lot. Greece, Amsterdam for the Amsterdam dance event, which is great, Silver Planet. Played in the UK a lot. I played in Turnmills in London, the Cross, also in London, the Legendary Club, the Bomb in Nottingham, Bristol, Empathy, up in Manchester, Resonate. So yeah, lots of really good gigs. And then sort of, my day job sort of took over, I guess. Things were getting tough. I mean, I had a 3-year residency on both parties called Electronic Sessions, and that was really cool as well. So got lots of friends along to those. But yeah, my day job really took over around 2010. And also I was just getting married at the time. I was on all the socials, and I just got a bit weirded out because everyone on my socials could see, my wedding photos or my family. I hadn't really got it straight in my head as to who should be seeing what and how to organise all of that. Much better now. So what happened was I just basically pressed the pause button on everything in 2010, deactivated my socials. My music was still out there. Day job took over, sort of busy project management job basically. And then I got married, we had kids, and that's incredible. It's so wonderful to have such a fantastic family. But I think there was always something missing, and it's the music, because I've been doing it all my life. I started writing music when I was about, I don't know, 8 or 9. I used to write computer games on my Amiga and stuff in my bedroom, and I'd write the soundtracks to that, and I did a bit of stuff at school. I did a lot of DJing at uni, so it's always been part of my life. And then just to sort of press pause on that for 8 years, 7 or 8 years, whatever, was pretty tough. And it's a big stressy day job as well, quite stressful, quite pressured, bit of anxiety around it all, I guess. But I'm sort of over that now. So in 2018 I decided to get back into it. So I upgraded my Mac because it stopped working with Logic and the version that I've got. So I upgraded a few things in my studio, a sound card, computer. I got some new headphones. Still got my old speakers from when I did my artist album. And got back into it. Fired off a few demos to some labels and got some replies back. It's really cool. Had a really good bunch of connections and emails and exchanges and chats with people, like really influential people in the scene. So that's really, it's really mind-blowing that I can come back and people still, so many nice people in the scene, they'll sort of come back to you, give you some feedback, sign your tracks or give you some tips, and that's amazing. I don't know how many other industries people would do that and help people out. So I had my first single out in a number of years, about a year ago, on Precinct Recordings, 200 Hertz. So I did a couple of mixes myself, the original mix. It was actually based off an old demo that I had kicking around on my hard drive, and it was quite trancey breaks back then. I turned it into a sort of big house, a big room, progressive house type track, melodic track, and then I did a sort of tougher big room remix of it called the 4 AM mix. It had some sort of more of an acid vibe around it, analog synths, things like that. So I had 200 Hertz out a year ago on Precinct Recordings, and then did another few remixes for those guys. So I ran a few different labels. So I remixed Ariscan's And Before track back in January. That came out on Lost Language. That was a huge label. It's amazing to be working with all these great guys and everything. And then also had the opportunity to remix an absolute legend, Jan Johnston. So it's her track Flesh that came out again on a re-release on Solar Storm Recordings, along with loads of other great remixes, Simon McCann, and really good radio support, I think, from all the big guys. I had quite a lot of good feedback as well, which is great. Some of my heroes, just keep emailing people out, the promos and everything. So a new single, 200 Hertz, my And Before remix back in Jan, and my Jan Johnston Flesh remix that was just released in August. And I'm writing more tracks now as well, but it's more writing it for me, trying to develop, a particular sound again. I've got my own sound, but it's sort of updating that and keeping it current, and also looking for the fresh stuff that excites me as well. So try and modernise all of that stuff and sign some new good people, hopefully. So I've set up a record label. It's called Vector Space Recordings. I've got a little logo thing here. It's got a website. Setting up distribution at the moment, and I think I've got the first track, the first release, hopefully sorted for that. So it sort of spans sort of melodic techno, maybe a bit progressive, tech house, some really sort of dirty bass lines and analog synth. I've got a new Minilog here, which is my sort of go-to synth at the moment. It's a really fantastic synth. Still using my K station back up there. That really defined my sound, I guess. I've got all my sound design stuff on there from obviously 10 years or so. And I mostly use Logic. And then the third track is like a breakbeat track, like a really sort of dark but melodic breakbeat track. I'm also writing tracks for my guitars as well, so got some guitar lines on there. And I think maybe I'm going to do another mix as well to chuck in there, just to really give the first release a good boost, a good release. So I've been going clubbing a bit more recently as well. So I went to see John Digweed at Bedrock in Brixton, and that was incredible. And I also just went to see Sasha at Fabric last week, and that was amazing as well. And he played for 8 hours non-stop. And it was great to catch up with all my old mates. Used to go clubbing a lot back in the day, and then have family, busy day job and stuff. So I've sort of been missing out on that bit. And it's good to catch up with all my mates and DJs that have been so supportive of me, my music over the years, and see what they're playing now. I mean, you hear podcasts and everything else, but I think you get a bit of a different flavour for it in the club. So yeah, it's good to hear what they're playing. It's good to chat with some of the guys around them as well. Label managers, artists, DJs. It's really cool. Everyone's really supportive. It's amazing. So yeah, so off the back of that, I'm going to write another mix as well to chuck in the mix. But yeah, so the label's called Vector Space Recordings, and that's a throwback to I suppose my uni days. I studied maths at uni, and that was pretty tough. I changed to computer science in the end. But yeah, vector spaces was something that I learned about in my first year of maths, and sort of a throwback to that. I mean, I quite like maths, I still follow it, and science and everything else. And maybe I'll do a vlog with a bit more about some of that behind it, but it's like a throwback to my uni days in a way. So yeah, hopefully it's going to cover things like melodic techno, tech house, breakbeat. If it's quirky, if it's cool, if it's well produced, I'll probably sign it. It's tough to know how much bandwidth I've got, with my day job and my music and my family and stuff, or running a label. But the idea is it's going to be, where I release most of my tracks, and then hopefully it'll go well, and I can, sign new people as well and release like really good music. I think it'll be digital only to start with, but I would like to put out some vinyl as well. Obviously I've got my physical product from back in the day, and I think vinyl's making a comeback, so it'd be silly not to do that, but probably take some baby steps first. So yeah, I mean, if you've got any demos or anything you want to send over might be of interest, then feel free to send some private SoundCloud links with streaming sort of download enabled or Dropbox. So if you look it up, vectorspacerecordings.com, there's a demo submission page there. There's an email, demos@vectorspacerecordings.com. Send it to there. So yeah, it'd be good to hear what people are up to. I've already had a few demos through. In touch with a few artists. Some of them have been on Radio 1. That's really cool. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking to do for 2020, and a bit more clubbing as well, hopefully catch up with more people. Yeah, and I just need to sort out a few things on my label, so distribution, you know, I think that's almost there now. I've got a mate who's going to do the mastering for the label, and also hopefully the distribution. Really, really good guy, really good, you know, solid industry guy. It's been around for ages, worked with some big labels, so it's great to work with him. And you know, maybe do some more bits and pieces for the other labels that I've worked with this year as well. It's great to be back, and for those of you that have followed me, it's like continue to, you know, send me messages on the socials and download and listen to my tracks and everything else. You know, thanks very much. It's amazing to have such a supportive fan base. You know, some people ping me, oh, you know, your artist album, where can I get it on CD? You know, I think the label only released it as, you know, MP3s or WAVs back in the day, but you know, want to look into getting more physical products out there, CDs, like I said, maybe vinyl, so watch this space. So yeah, it's been a great year, you know, had my release out on Precinct about a year ago, remix on Lost Language in January, for Ariscan and before, Jan Johnston remix of Flesh on Solar Storm in August. Just set up my label, great to go out clubbing with everyone again at Bedrock and Fabric and seeing Sasha and John Digweed again. I've been doing some, you know, podcasts as well, but yeah, and lots of contact with you know, friends and fans and stuff, and that's really, really cool to hear what people are up to, what they like from me, you know, and demos from people. So just want to say a big thank you to, you know, everyone that I've been in touch with over the last, you know, 12 months or so, and I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas, festive season and New Year. All the best for 2020. Hopefully it'll be great for all of us, and see you soon. Yeah, if you want to follow my vlog series, then obviously subscribe, get the notifications, and it would be great to, you know, follow on the socials, so Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, say hello, get in touch, and yeah, see you soon. Have a great 2020. Cheers.